Welcome to Cusco, Peru. Now we have been here in Cusco for about 13 days now, and so the information we are going to be sharing with you is definitely stuff that we have actually seen, done ourselves, the places we've stayed, and the different trips that we've gone on outside of here.
And the restaurants we've eaten at. The food here in Cusco is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it to you. We're going to bring you how much this whole thing ended up costing us as well.
Now, how are you going to get here? There is an airport that is located maybe 10 minutes outside of town, a nice little small airport, but you are going to have to typically fly from Lima up here to Cusco. Very cheap, inexpensive hopper flights, and they have them going all day long.
And flying into Cusco is epic. It's pretty amazing. It's a great view. You come around a mountain and you see the airport and you think maybe you're passing it, and then he banks left hard and you come in. It's pretty cool. Now, what's the best time of year to be here? We're here now in the rainy season. It's mid-February, and I think it's twofold. Now, if you come when we're coming, you beat the crowds. You get to go to Machu Picchu without a whole lot of people. You get to do these excursions we've been on without big crowds. Now, it might rain on you, so you got to be aware of that. But if you come during the middle of the summer when all the crowds are around, you might pay more, and you might get pushed around a bit. So I don't know if there's a bad time of year to come.
Probably not. Now, the other thing is we've got, I wanted to mention is that one of the trips that we were on yesterday, she was telling us that they are putting in an international airport. That is going to be located about 25 minutes outside of town, but it will allow those flights to come directly into Cusco, so you don't have to hop at Lima first, which will be really nice.
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
It's a few years down the road now. She made it sound like a positive with some negative to that.
Taking up space.
So the locals are kind of, they're not so sure about it, but it will be an option here in the next few years.
Now, when you are flying into Cusco, you are going to need to allow yourself some time to acclimate to the different elevation here. It is a little bit over 11,000 feet. For us, that's the highest elevation we've ever been at. Yeah. We definitely felt a little bit of it. One of the things that we did is we went to one of the drugstores here. They're all over the place, and you can get some medication to take for the first few days you're here to just kind of help the process. There were also a couple other things that you wanted to make sure and do. Stay hydrated. That was very important. And then they say to stay away from any alcohol those first few days. We didn't totally stick to that.
Well, you had to have a Cusco sour, so we did fudge a little bit on that.
Yeah, and we did have a beer one day too, so we didn't completely stick to that one. But there are ways to do it, and just allow yourself those couple days prior to going on an excursion. They say to allow at least 2 days prior to booking an excursion to a place that is even higher elevation.
Right. Now, in my case, I had a headache the first day. I didn't sleep real well that night because of that headache. Day 2, my headache wasn't nearly as bad. I slept like a baby that night, no problem. Carrie didn't have any problems at all.
I really didn't have any problems. You know, you're really going to notice it when you go upstairs, or you're exerting yourself at all. That is when you're going to notice it. You're all of a sudden going to be like, I thought I was in pretty good shape, and then you feel like you're in horrible shape.
Excuse to not overexert yourself. I just need to sit down
for about 2 days.
And relax.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how many days do you want to stay here? Give yourself a couple days, and then go down to Machu Picchu and go up into the Sacred Valley after that, after you've been acclimated. So I would say give yourself 4 to 5 days, because you also want to explore right here in Cusco as well, because it's a really cool spot.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, we're going on 2 weeks here, and we've absolutely loved this town. You know, anybody who follows our channel and has watched all the places that we've traveled over in the last 3.5 years, we got here and I was like, God, this might be one of my new favorite towns. It is just absolutely beautiful, and there's so much to see and do. So don't just allow time to go and do all those excursions, which is why a lot of people come here.
That's what they do. Yeah. Allow some time right here
just to enjoy the town.
Now, what exactly is there to do here in Cusco? Well, there's the cathedral, which is beautiful, right in the middle of the square. There's museums. There's also walking tours you can take. When you do those walking tours, get that city pass. Because the city pass is more than just the city pass.
Yeah, so there is a city pass that you can get. It's 130 sol, which is going to be, I don't know, about $35 maybe. And that is going to get you into a lot of the different museums. It's going to get you into some of the archaeological sites that are here right more in the center.
Right.
And it gets you also into, on the day that we would go on to excursions, one of the days we went to Sacred Valley, some of the sites that we went to go see, we had to pay extra to get into, but if you have that city pass, then that is included.
It's already taken care of. And because it's already taken care of, it just makes your day that much more convenient.
Right.
Because we had to pull out cash and pay for tickets as we went. I recommend getting that city pass.
Yeah. Now the other area, which is just a no-brainer that you need to see, is right here in the city center. That's where we're sitting right now. This has kind of been the place we come every single day. Right around here, there's just tons of shopping, lots to see and do. And the fun thing that's gone on here, numerous of the days that we've been here, randomly we've just come across this. There's been some kind of festival going on. There's parades going through the streets. Everybody is dressed so colorfully.
It's been crazy.
And beautiful. And the other day we came down here and they were doing some kind of celebration. At one of the restaurants we went to, she was explaining to us what it was, but they were spraying all this like foam stuff, and but they were having a great time, and it was just a lot of fun. So this is a really great place to be.
Yeah, March 2nd, I guess, is the big event. Everything that we've been seeing up until then is the kind of the pre-funk. We're getting ready for the big event in March. So we got lucky to be here when we got here. Now I mentioned it's the rainy season. There's a cloud right there coming our way. Carrie took her sweatshirt off because when the sun's out, it's warm.
It's warm. Yeah, it goes from hot to cold. So you kind of have to pack accordingly, because it can go from being about 40 some degrees to 75 degrees.
But that's to my point earlier. Don't let the rainy season scare you away, because I kind of enjoy being here when we're here.
Yeah. Now, if you're somebody who enjoys going to the mercados and checking out all the local goods, the food, the fresh veggies and all of that, there are a couple of different ones that you can go here as well. Now, the other area that you want to check out, and one of our favorite areas that's outside of the main square, is called the San Blas neighborhood. That's kind of the bohemian neighborhood. It's up the hill, and so you are going to have to hike a little bit more, so maybe save that for day 2 or something. But anyways, up in that area, they had a lot of shops and everything, and not as touristy of shops as maybe that you're finding down in the square.
Right. Now the square has some great shopping. If you want to spend some money, you can get some baby alpaca sweaters, a cap, socks. Spend the money. Great. When you go up into town, up on the hill, you're going to spend less money. There are some touristy type stuff too that you kind of like to avoid. But up on the hill, you get some of the unique, authentic, handmade crafts that Carrie and I kind of tend to look for more often. The expensive shops down here, the $150 for an alpaca sweater, I'd ruin it, first of all.
Right.
I'd probably wash it in hot water with the wrong colors, and then it'd be a medium instead of a large. So it's not something I would spend my money on, but you might be interested.
Yeah, and a little fun fact that we did learn on one of our excursions for the alpaca is that everybody very much pushes the baby alpaca. Well, when you're picturing that, you're thinking, oh, it's a baby alpaca that they have shaved and they've used that wool. What it actually is, it's the first cutting for that alpaca. So that is what the baby alpaca. And boy, do you feel a difference between the baby alpaca and then the regular alpaca wool.
Yes, and no alpacas were harmed. We should mention that as well. Just in case. They weren't harmed. They didn't hurt them any. They just shaved their fur.
We'll be covering the restaurant soon.
Oh, that's a completely different story. There were some alpacas harmed in the filming of this video.
Now, how do you get around the area when you're here? The wonderful thing is Uber works here, no problem at all. They were available very quickly, and the price is very, very affordable. There's also taxis, plenty of taxis around. And then also there is the local bus system. One thing to be aware of, we did not use the local bus, but everything we heard and what we witnessed is those buses are jam-packed full. So you have to be willing to be really close up with people and kind of just shoving yourself in.
And the other way to get around too is walk. This whole area isn't that big. Sure, there's some hills that you have to climb, pace yourself. That's all I can say about that. But you can really walk this area pretty well. Handicap accessibility, here in the main square, you won't have any problems at all. Even in some of the back streets, you should be okay.
Yeah, we actually only used an Uber, I think it was 2 times, coming from the airport, and then also we moved the hotels we were staying in, so we did use an Uber for that, just because going up the hills and the cobblestone streets in those areas would be tough. But like we said, you were really paying maybe $3 for a transport within town for just a little distance.
And we can't leave out our friends, the solo traveler. We have run into more solo travelers in this location than we have in the last 3.5 years, I think. On our excursion to Machu Picchu, there was 7 of us. 5 of them were solo travelers that had never met each other before. So it's a lot of fun meeting people.
Right, and tons of hostels. I mean, more hostels than we have probably seen, other than maybe in Europe, but so many hostels here, and they are so nice inside. We've kind of peeked into a few of them. So if you are a solo traveler, this would be a great area to come.
It's very safe. We actually had a policeman just walk up to us. I wish I had the camera rolling, and offer to take our picture.
He thought we were,
Yeah, he has his badge, his gun, and everything, and he was ready to take a picture and give us a good experience.
Yeah,
so
he thought we were taking a picture. I was like, oh crap, can we not film right here or something? And he's like, do you want
we
to
thought we were in
picture?
trouble. No, he was just being kind.
Yeah, very nice. So now, what are some of the day trips that you want to do out of Cusco while you're here? Because one of the things that we completely understand is when you're looking to book a trip to Cusco, it usually is because of the day trips out of here. So a couple of those are going to Rainbow Valley, or Rainbow Mountain. Yeah, that is one we actually did not choose to do. We had talked to numerous people that said it's very cool, but not quite like the pictures that you see sometimes. So that might be a time of year thing.
Well, I think it is a time of year thing, because one gal we talked to, she said it was actually snowed over.
Yeah.
So she got to go.
She didn't see rainbows.
But it was white.
It was the White Mountain trip, yes. And then the other area that you can go to is the salt mines. We did go do that, and that was very cool. You can go to Morai, and then there were a lot of different archaeological sites that you can go to as well. So there is a lot to keep you busy while you're here. But what is the big one everybody comes here for?
Of course, the big one. Machu Picchu. You can't miss it. Now, we did an entire video on Machu Picchu, how to get to it, what's all involved with the whole process, because it is quite extensive. So make sure that video you check out coming up.
Yeah, and same with the other sites that we went to see. We did a video on that as well. We did a tour for both of those, and so not only the sites we saw, but what it cost us and how you can do it if you would like to do it as well.
Okay, the sweatshirt has come off. The cloud up here is still looming over us, but we're okay. So we stayed now in two different neighborhoods. The first neighborhood we stayed in was about a 5 to 7 minute block from city center, in the town square that we're in right now. Now, that was on the other end of town that we're staying in right now.
Yeah, and so we moved. Main reason we moved is we're doing things a little bit different now. We only book for like a day or two in the place that we're in, and then we kind of see the area that we're at and see if we liked it. We actually ended up very much liking the place, but they didn't have availability for our entire stay. So we just moved to a new location, which is in the Sunblast neighborhood, which, like we mentioned earlier, I love that neighborhood. We both really like it. Our favorite little rooftop bar is up there, and like we said, a lot of shopping and different places that you can go to. And the other thing I'm going to add also is all the massage places.
I was just going to mention.
Those are everywhere around here. You can get a massage for around $20 for an hour massage. I did go to a place which I will go ahead and give them a little thumbs up. It was called The Best Massage Cusco, which we've gone to places before that were like the best coffee place or the best restaurant, and they usually aren't. But this place, it had high ratings, and I checked them out, and they were amazing. So if you are coming here and you do want to go to a place, I would definitely suggest
Okay,
that.
they're all asking, how much did it cost?
It was 20. It was 20.
20
Yeah.
US
It ended up
dollars.
with 20. It was like $25 with a tip. So
Yeah, so I didn't do it.
For an hour, yeah.
I'm saving my dollars for the pisco sours that we're going to get up at the rooftop bar. That we're going to take you to by the end of this video.
Right.
We hope.
So as far as like areas to stay, I would say that any place that is like around the city center, you really can't go wrong. We've walked this whole area in the last 2 weeks. There's not been an area that we have traveled to that we'd be like, oh, we wouldn't want to stay here, which we've experienced in other towns. Here, I would say that you're really safe as long as you stay within that just kind of city center area.
No, I completely agree with that.
Now, what about like the food, the eating out, drinking out? We have been absolutely shocked by the eating out here in Cusco. We did not expect it. We really, I guess, didn't look that much into that element. But boy, we have gone to so many different restaurants. We've eaten out numerous times, and the food here is served like a Michelin star restaurant. It is like a piece of art.
It's like a piece of artwork.
You almost don't want to dig into it. It is beautiful, but not only beautiful, it has been absolutely amazing food.
Yeah, no, I turned into the guy that actually takes a picture of the plate of food so I can post it on my social media. You kind of have to. That's what it looks like. That's how crazy cool it is. Now, we went to 3 different places, and we enjoyed all 3 of them. The first one we went to, we thought it was just mind-blowing. Then we went to the second place. Then we went to the third place. I'll tell you what, We're going to put all 3 of these places as recommendations in those links below because it's worth it.
We would highly recommend
Yes.
them. They were wonderful. And the other thing I would like to just note in there is cost. So we are budget travelers. We really watch what we are spending. And you are looking at spending on average about $12 to $15 per person for a plate, not counting a drink. The average beer price has been about $3 or
Right, $3.50,
well, $3.50
$4.
for just a basic beer,
Yeah.
upward to about $6 for, say, a draft beer.
Yeah, that craft draft beer is going to cost you a little bit more, just like anywhere else. But I'll tell you, for us, it's something that we get to do. It's a part of enjoying life, is going to these restaurants and being able to eat out. Some locations we're not able to do that. Here we are. Back home, this same plate of food, it's going to cost you $75 if you can find it.
Yeah. And Brian mentioned we went out 3 times. There's been multiple other times, but those were like the 3 standout times that we did go eat out, and that we've returned to because they are amazing food.
And I'd also like to point out, you can eat for a lot less too.
Yeah.
There's hole-in-the-wall local restaurants you can eat at as well. So you don't have to go out for that big filling. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But you could if you wanted to.
Well, and while staying on that note, because as far as English being spoken, because we did run into that in only one restaurant, and that was one of the little kind of mom and pop locations. There was no communication, and unfortunately our Wi-Fi wasn't working, or our service wasn't working.
Yeah, the
so
Google
we couldn't
Translate
get,
wouldn't work.
No
gracias. And another thing, if you want to buy something, you will have no problem spending money. There are vendors everywhere. They're not pushy at all. They're very sweet, very kind, and so just politely say no and they move on, or say yes and buy something. It's up to you.
But as far as back to the English spoken,
let's get back on track.
Yeah. So the English being spoken, we have not had any problem whatsoever. That was the only time that we had any level of communication problem. And any other time, we normally just pull out Google Translate. It would be no problem. We had no service to do that, to actually scan the menu or to just communicate with him. So we ended up having to leave, which we felt bad about.
Let me tell you what, I have never felt so bad. Well, I felt worse in my lifetime. But I felt horrible. We
just didn't even know how to order. There was he didn't even give us a menu, so we didn't know how to order. So anyways, but if you are somebody who's traveling here and you do not speak any Spanish, learn those just few basics. Those are going to take you a long ways just as far as them appreciating it, but you do not need to know Spanish to be able to travel to Cusco.
Right. Okay, how much for accommodations? That's what everybody wants to know. And by the way, that cloud is directly overhead now. It is starting to rain. But you know what? It's pleasant. It's not too cold.
Take it,
so we're fine. Accommodations for the 14 nights that we were here cost us $647. And let me say this about both accommodations. That included breakfast, it included tea, coffee. One of them had snacks in the room, Oreo cookies.
Brian's excited.
Yeah, so you really get it's a big bang for the buck. Let me put it to you that way.
It is. Out of our travels through South America, this has been our cheapest location to find accommodations. And the place that we stayed in, to kind of give you an idea, the first place we stayed in was more in a part hotel. And so we did have a kitchen, and we did have, a table and a little bit of living room and bedroom and stuff. And then the second place, but we were only in for 2 nights, that is just a hotel. But like Brian said, it serves breakfast. You're hard struck to find a place in Cusco that does not provide breakfast in the hotels, because there's a lot of boutique hotels. Now, with that said, we did have a little bit for groceries. We only cooked in a little bit. It's hard when you're moving fast, but we did buy a few things, and that came to $51, so very affordable.
Yeah, very affordable. Yeah, we got some snacky stuff, and we cooked dinner a couple times for ourselves.
We cooked dinner a couple times in.
Yeah. I mean, I should say Carrie cooked dinner a couple times for the both of us. More accurate. Now, because we spent so little on groceries, and because the restaurants were so affordable and so good, and it's unbelievable. You got to do it. Eating out cost us $337, which sounds like a lot.
It doesn't, though, for 2 weeks when our grocery bill was only $51.
Right.
I feel like we really here got to treat ourselves, and that is just something we don't often get to do because we are having to watch our finances so much. So it has been a lot of fun here. Now, for a per person price, you can, just for an idea on average, like we mentioned the meal price, but we were spending on average about $33 to go out and have a drink each and a meal. So to me, we can't even do that. One person can't go out and do that where we're from.
No, that's breakfast at home. so it's something we very much enjoyed. So our total spent for 13 nights here in Cusco was $1,000 $90.
Now, to be clear, that does not include the excursions we went on.
Right.
We break down the price of all of that in those videos for you. We didn't feel it was fair to add that to our pricing here because each person who comes here, you're going to do something a little bit different than we did. You may go on totally different excursions, but that is what it costs us just to be in the town, enjoy life, eating out, and our accommodations.
Very well said. Yes. No gracias. No gracias. Thank you.
Shoe cleaning. They definitely like to walk around and sell here.
Yeah,
in the
at
main
least
square.
here
You
they
just gotta
ask.
Yeah.
Some places they
Some places they just scam you right into it.
They just start polishing.
No gracias.
Gracias. Thank you.
No gracias.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as our feelings of Cusco, if you can put Cusco on your list of places to come to, absolutely do it. You will not be sorry that you did. It is an absolutely gorgeous place to be. But we're going to wrap this up because now the wind is blowing and the rain is coming.
You haven't noticed.
But you know what? That's not the end because I think we're still going to go check out our favorite rooftop bar area, which is covered, and get a couple
It's
pisco
covered because
sours.
the pisco sour. If you haven't had a pisco sour, stay tuned.
Cheers.